Shema Yasha Allah, Yahweh, Allah Yahweh, Achad, Shema Yasha Allah, Yahweh, Allah Yahweh, Achad, Shema Yasha Allah, Yahweh, Allah Yahweh, Achad, Barakat Yahweh, Barakat Yahweh, Barakat Yahweh, Barakat Yahweh, Barakat Yahweh, Barakat Yahweh, Bahashon Hakudash. I also want to give double honor to our elder apostles and elder bishops of Great Millstone Ruel. Peace and blessings as well as health and wellness to the house of David the elect. And to the sister that just got on the board, I know you know what I'm talking about. I did check, I didn't see it, and I might have to hit up the post office. But I want to go into a lesson today. All right. I want to go into a lesson today, and it's going into the topic: we shall inherit titles in the kingdom. We shall inherit titles in the kingdom. What does that mean? All right. What does that mean? We shall inherit titles in the kingdom. All right. Now we have last names, right? But it doesn't mean anything. All right. Somebody might call you sir or mister, but it doesn't hold any weight. You know, it has no value. All right. But in the kingdom, the men of Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, the elect, are going to receive titles of nobility. All right. Now, when you hear people say, like, for example, there's a scripture I believe is in Peter, and it says, even as Sarah obeyed Abraham, calling him Lord. All right. Even as Sarah obeyed Abraham, calling him Lord. Now, if you look up the word Lord, all right, it's actually a title. Like in the UK and in Europe, you have people called Lord Rothschild or Lord this person, Lord that person. And that word Lord, especially in, I would say, the Western world, is actually an honorary title. It actually means that you have a share of the kingdom. So there's a kingdom on earth, all right, and you have a share of the kingdom. And someone who has the honorary title Lord, all right, someone who has that honorary title Lord, all right, they have access to the upper echelons of the kingdom. You know, and this is like in the UK, right, in Europe. And I've got my inspiration from watching the show Queen Charlotte. And you have, I think the man's name was Dewberry. I think it was Dewberry. You could correct me on the comment board. But his name was Dewberry, but he was upgraded to Lord Dewberry. All right. And when he was upgraded to Lord Dewberry, he was supposed to have access to the theaters. I want to say to like salons, because he was upgraded to the honorary title Lord. Because basically, if you're called a Lord, that means you have an association to the kingdom. Also, most importantly, when you're upgraded to the title Lord, you have land, you have estates, you have wealth, you have land, you have estates, you have wealth, you have resources, because you've been upgraded to the title Lord. All right. See, this promise that Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai gave to our forefather Abraham. Let me get away from this music. The promise that was given to our forefather Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, those were promises of nobility. The Most High promised Abraham that kings will come out of your loins. All right? So the Most High didn't deal with us on some Christianity. Okay, I love you, Abraham. No, the Most High was building Abraham up to be a king and to be the patriarch of other kings. He was dealing with Abraham to be a patriarch. That's why I said kings shall come out of thy loins. All right? Because if you're a king, then you have an heir. And your heir is going to be what? A king. Then he has an heir, and that heir grows up to be a king. That's why you had Abraham. Then he had an heir, Isaac. Then he had an heir, Jacob. Then he had 12 heirs. All right, which are the 12 patriarchs of the tribe of Israel. Those are kings. So what the fuck does that make us? Kings and princesses. That's not hypothetical. It's not a term of endearment. We are the inherent kings on the planet Earth. All right? That's why Abraham became rich. All right? He had wealth. All right? He took 300 servants and he divided his land with Lot. All right? They were wealthy. All right? Because he was a friend of the Most High. It's like King David was a friend of the Most High. So that's an important statement in the scripture where it says that we're going to be joint heirs. Joint heirs. So that means if in today's language, that would mean we'll be freaking lords. Because like I said, over there in Europe, you have people with the title of Lord, and they're basically cronies, friends of the king. So if I come into power and you brothers is in tune with this video, I'm just speaking in theory. All right, I come into power as king, then I automatically, just by association, just because you're my friend, I will make you lords. So you have access to all the goodies within the kingdom. But furthermore, you have land, you have resources, you have wealth, and your offspring, your son, will inherit the title Lord. If you receive the title Lord, then your son will receive the title Lord. Even as Sarah obeyed Abraham, calling him Lord. Because, like something the priest of Yahshua would always bring out, we had houses, right? Not houses in the sense of something that you abode in, but your house was really your bloodline. Like the house of David. You could look up a chart with the house of David, and you see all these different kings in Europe whose line supposed to have went back to King David. These people were of the house or the lineage of David. You see? We're going to be the progenitor of houses in the kingdom. Abba willing is us. I can't forget that. But kings are going to come out of our loins. Our faces are going to be on gold currency. Our faces are going to be branded in vessels, golden vessels and opal vessels and jade vessels. All right? Starting with Yahweh Shai. But you are going to inherit titles in the kingdom. And I believe, and I forgot to look it up, but I think that's where you get the term entitled. Like you feel entitled to do something. You feel entitled to have something. It's as though you have a certain title that gives you access to that particular thing. So figuratively speaking, you feel entitled. But we are going to inherit titles in the kingdom. There's no telling what the Most High is going to call us, but it tells you that we're going to be called what? Kings and priests. That's a title. And it's not like it's just a title. You know how you were at school and you did good and put a gold star in your head? No. In the kingdom, when you receive a title, you're going to get everything associated with that title. So that's why in 2nd Ezra, the 2nd chapter, all right, it tells you that this man that was standing taller than everybody else, which was the son of the Most High, his name is Yahweh Shai, he put palms in brothers' hands, and he put crowns on brothers' heads. That wasn't just a gold little sticker, all right, that he put on the elect's heads. That was a title that he put on brothers, and that gave them access to have a joint ownership in his dominion. Meaning that we're going to be over providences, man. We're going to be over providences, man. All right? So Yahweh Shai is going to be at the top. All right? Under Yahweh, of course. He's going to have his King David. All right? The 12 apostles. All right? Then the 12 tribes, the patriarchs of the 12 tribes of Israel. All right? But, Salat, you're going to have a 144,000 up under that. All right? Up under the 12 apostles, man. But the 144,000 are going to actually have titles. And those titles are going to give you access to the kingdom. It's going to give you preeminence in the kingdom. And that's what's going to separate you from an average Israelite citizen. Because like I said, you're going to have houses, meaning you're going to have bloodlines. When you say the house of Zahab, the house of Kazak, the house of Halak, that means the bloodline of Halak, the lineage, and everything that's associated with his wealth and his estate. And if you come of that house, if you come of his loins, then basically you're him. So when I go back, well, in the kingdom, you know, not in the kingdom, but just in theory, when you go in the spirit world, or your son is a replacement of you. And that's what was very important in a ruling house. One thing that's very important is you having an heir, so everything shall continue when you go back to the Most High. Your wealth shall stay within your family when you go back to the Most High. Now compare that to what we have on this side. A lot of us don't inherit anything from our dads, from our father. A lot of us don't even know our father. All right? When your father goes back to the Most High, what do most brothers inherit? What do most Jakes inherit? Nothing. Because we're fucking peasants, man. We're in slavery, man. All right? You have a few Israelites, they might inherit land, but that's very rare and seldom. All right? Because your father didn't have a title. All right? That's why America just trash, man. We all acculturated into the Roman way, the way of the Romans, which was a fast life, instant gratification, entertainment. But we never had anything of substance. We never owned anything for the most part. You know, we don't have that tradition of passing things down to our offspring, keeping wealth within the family, man. You know? So this is king talk right here, man. This is king talk, wanting preeminence in the kingdom, wanting wealth in the kingdom, wanting something behind your name. That's why in Isaiah 4 it says 7 women should cleave unto one man, saying, let us be called by thy name to take away our reproach. Because once they mate with us or be with us, they're going to inherit our name. The house of fill in the blank. Now she's a part, now she has that covering first and foremost, but then she's going to have access to the kingdom that you have access to, per se. She's going to be joined unto you, so she's going to be your princess. Or as they would call it in the Western world, a lady. I'm going to give you an example of this. The book of Judith. Now, in the book of Judith, which it was after the Israelite Judith, which is a feminine way of saying Judah, right? Her husband was a wealthy man. And he was basically a lord. If you use today's terminology, he was a lord, meaning he had a house or he had a estate, he had wealth, he had resources. But he went back to the Most High and she inherited his wealth. And so today they would call her a lady, like Lady Judith, per se. Because she was the wife of basically a lord, you see what I'm saying? But she was a lady of preeminence in Israel and Jerusalem. To the point where it even mentioned that she had a lady of waiting. So what's a lady of waiting? A lady of waiting is basically, if you're a woman that's a lady, right? You're going to have a woman under you managing all of your substances. She's going to keep total inventory of everything you have. She's going to manage your affairs. All right, we have that as men, but when you sisters come into rulership, when you come up under the marriage of the elect, all right, I'm willing as you, all right, you're going to have women up under you handling your affairs, handling your substance, all right? You see that with celebrity women who are singers, but they have secretaries, they have women who are managers, but they're always around that celebrity managing all of her stuff. Well, we had that in Jerusalem, showing you they got all that from Jerusalem, man. Lordship, that's what lordship is, man. All right, lordship is you receiving a title of wealth and preeminence and access to the kingdom at a preeminent level versus being a commoner. So even in England, I was looking it up. If you receive the title of a lord, all right, you usually get access to theaters. You might get front row seats to operas and stuff. If you go to a hotel, you sign into a hotel, they automatically give you a suite. You sign up for credit, they automatically approve you, all right? Because you've inherited lordship. You've received a title that associates you with somebody who runs that kingdom, man. All right, so how much more is going to be Abba willing is us when we become joint heirs, when we receive the gifts of being joint heirs with Yahushua. All right, the water brother. So yeah, I know you watch, maybe some brothers watch Game of Thrones, you watch those European shows and they be talking about lordship, and that's just not a word of honor. It's just that word is associated with wealth. And not only that, anybody that comes from your loins, they're heirs to your wealth. They're heirs to your kingdom, and you're part of the kingdom, man. All right, that's why I hate to give it away, but that's why in the show Queen Charlotte, when it was a big discussion with the wife of Dewberry, and I think that's how you say his name, I could be wrong. All right, there was a discussion because the whole thing was, well, if he received the title of lordship from these damn Edomites, all right, he goes back to the Most High. You need to make sure that his heir, he produces an heir to maintain that wealth. Because Jake was looking at the woman like, your husband go back to the Most High, and they only leave the lordship title with him. Then we finna all go back to being on some common shit. So Jake wanted to maintain their wealth. So those titles are important. Now we might have lost that over here in Babylon, because what they did in Babylon is basically Rome. It's the Roman Empire. They allow you to live as a careless slave. Like you don't own anything, but you can have all the entertainment in the world. All right? But in the kingdom, man, we're gonna have access to earth, man. Access to existence. And we're gonna understand why the Most High created the earth for Israel's sakes, man. All right? So like I said, in the kingdom, we're going to inherit titles. We don't know exactly what it is, but we do know in Revelation it said we're going to be called kings and priests. So that in itself, man, imagine being a king in the kingdom. You getting crowned, and Yahushua allotting you to a particular part of his rulership and say, I want you to run this part of my rulership. You're going to be governor over this part of my rulership. Because he's finna tame the earth. He's finna dominate and conquer the earth, all right, and put it on a righteous dominion, which is something that you've seen. An example of that was during Islamic rule. They went all through Europe, putting everybody under what they believe was the right way. European colonization, all right, was a tool to really take resources from everybody, but still it's an example of forcing your beliefs on everybody else. Well, Yahushua gonna do it on the right-hand side. Psalm 82:6, the water brother. I have said you are gods and all of you are sons of the Most High. And in the kingdom, you're going to see that play out. It's us being sons. That means Yashar Allah means he prince of the power. He prince of the power. And if you're a prince of the power, that means you're an heir. You are an heir. So when his first heir, his firstborn, because the firstborn gets the fattest substance, the most substance from his father. So, but under him, we're going to be joint heirs. You see? But I'm going to bring this live stream to a closing through the spirit. Once again, I hope you brothers and sisters were edified. I want to give all honor and glory to Yahweh by Shema Rashai, by Shema Kakodash. Double honor to our elder apostles, elder bishops, the great millstone Ruel. Peace and blessings, health and wealth to the house of David the elect. Abba Babal, Kam Yashala, Shalom. Yeah, don't we all? Yeah, we all want to go home. The water sisters, the water brothers. We all want to go home. Shalom.